Why fear turns normal people into monsters. Fear doesn't make you run. It makes you do things you never thought you were capable of. Not because you're evil. Not because you want to hurt anyone. But because in that moment, it feels necessary. And that's what makes fear so dangerous. It doesn't look like a villain. It feels like survival. Fear doesn't break into your life. It slips in quietly, through uncertainty, through rumors, through that feeling that something isn't safe anymore. And once it's inside, it starts changing the way you see people. Neighbors become threats. Strangers become enemies. And suddenly, cruelty starts to make sense. History has seen this before. Not once, not twice, but again and again and again. In the 14th century, something invisible entered Europe. The Black Death. People were fine one day and dying the next. Fever, pain, black swellings under the skin. Then silence. Entire families disappeared in days. Cities filled with the sound of bells, until there were too many dead to count. But the disease didn't just destroy bodies. It destroyed something else. Trust. People stopped helping each other. Parents abandoned children. Children left their parents behind. Not because they didn't care, but because they were afraid. The writer Giovanni Boccaccio described a world where even love started to feel dangerous. Where getting close to someone could mean dying. And when fear couldn't find a cure, it looked for someone to blame. Rumors spread that certain communities had poisoned wells. No proof. No logic. Just fear. Looking for a target. And that was enough. People were burned. Expelled. Killed. Not by monsters. By ordinary people. Who believed they were protecting themselves. What fear does to the brain. We like to think cruelty comes from bad people. But most of the time, it comes from scared people. When fear takes over, your brain changes. It stops asking complex questions. It stops seeing nuance. It just wants one thing: safety. And to get that, it looks for 3 shortcuts: a clear enemy, a simple answer, and a reason not to care. Fear tells you they're dangerous. They're not like you. They're the problem. And once you believe that, you don't feel cruel anymore. You feel right. When fear creates enemies. In 1692, in a small town called Salem, fear took a different form. Young girls started screaming, convulsing, accusing people of witchcraft. No one understood what was happening. But uncertainty is something humans hate. So instead of saying, "We don't know," they created an answer. Witches. And once that idea took hold, everything became proof. Act strange? Guilty. Defend yourself? Guilty. Stay silent? Also guilty. 19 people were executed. Not because there was evidence, but because fear made doubt feel like danger. When fear scales up, fear doesn't just live in villages. It can take over entire nations. After World War I, Germany was broken. Economically, emotionally, psychologically. People were desperate. And that kind of fear needs direction. That's where Adolf Hitler came in. He didn't just offer solutions. He offered something more powerful. Someone to blame. Minorities, outsiders, enemies within. And people listened. Not all of them were hateful. Many were just afraid. Afraid of losing everything. Afraid of being left behind. Afraid of chaos. And step by step, fear made extreme ideas feel reasonable. Reasonable became normal. Normal became policy. And policy became horror. Fear didn't disappear. We like to think we're smarter now, more advanced, more rational. But fear hasn't changed. It just found new tools. Today, it spreads through screens, faster than ever. A rumor doesn't take weeks anymore. It takes seconds. And the crowd is no longer in the streets. It's online. And it can be just as ruthless. People get labeled, attacked, dehumanized. Not because everyone is cruel, but because fear makes cruelty feel justified. The most uncomfortable truth. Most people who do harmful things don't think they're the villain. They think they're protecting their family, defending what's right, following the crowd, stopping a threat. Fear doesn't ask you to become a monster overnight. It asks for something smaller. Ignore this. Accept that. Stay quiet here. Look away there. One step. Then another. Then another. Until one day, you're part of something you would have once feared. The people who didn't break. But history also shows something else. Not everyone gives in. During plagues, some stayed to help. During witch hunts, some spoke up. During dictatorships, some risked everything to protect strangers. They felt the same fear, but they didn't let it decide for them. They questioned. They refused easy answers. That's what courage really is. Not the absence of fear, but choosing not to become cruel because of it. The real warning. Every generation thinks, we wouldn't do that. We would be better. But the truth is, we have the same brains, the same instincts, the same fears. The situation changes. The technology changes. The names change. But the test is always the same. When fear shows up, what will you become? Ending. Fear isn't the enemy. Sometimes it protects you. It keeps you alert. It keeps you alive. But when fear goes unchecked, it changes into suspicion, into hatred, into cruelty. And when enough people believe that cruelty is justified, history doesn't repeat. It continues. The scariest thing isn't the crisis. It's what fear can turn people into. People like your neighbors. People like your friends. People like you. So the next time fear tells you to hate, to blame, to stop caring, pause. Because the line between being human and becoming something else is thinner than you think. And fear is always trying to cross it.